Hi, everybody. So it has really been a while. um, it's been right about 3 months ish. It was right around NorwestCon the last time I did any kind of video interaction, other than the PTSD awareness video that I did for BritCon. But it's not been because I haven't wanted to. It's been more being seen is hard. And it really, it's funny, but it's draining. And I've had a lot that I've been having to be seen for. Just trying to get things ready. I'm actually going to go ahead and pop the little thingy up here. BritCon. Really got to talk about this because it's one of the things that's really, really good and also taking up a whole buttload of my time right now, but in exciting ways. I'm on, for those of you that don't know, I'm actually one of the board members, and we finally are having our convention on August 7th. It is virtual and it is free. I am going to be hosting the cosplay contest. We need, we're definitely looking for some more applicants, either to compete or, one of the things I'm really looking forward to about it is the way we are hoping to, I say hope because it all depends on, well, you guys and the attendees to want to use it. But we've got it set up so that we can try to bring a little bit more of an in-person convention experience. And it's gonna, like, for the cosplay contest, slash mask, well, it's a masquerade. And it's part contest, part just showing off your costumes. So purchase costumes have a place. If you made your costume, but you really don't want to compete, you don't want to go before judges, you just want to show off, then that's okay. We have a place for you. And on top of that, in the Discord channel, there is actually, all of our masqueraders will have their own channel on our server. So our attendees can actually stop in and chat with them, and talk to them about the costumes, and hopefully get that more in-person cosplay experience where you're getting to actually talk to people about what you did, whether you made it or you bought it. It doesn't matter. You get to talk to people about it and show it off. So there's actually a link from the cosplay page to apply. I should have, actually, I'm not going to mess with that. I will include a link on my Facebook. For those of you who aren't watching on Facebook, I'll include a link on my Facebook again for the cosplay application. That way, everybody else. And for YouTube, if you come back later, I will put it in the description. If I can do that for Twitch as well, then I'll do it for Twitch. But I want you guys to be able to see, if you want to be a part of our masquerade. I would love to have you guys. I'd love to like be a part of you guys showing off your costumes and just getting to interact with people and talk about costumes again. Oh my gosh, yes. And we are actually going to be making our starting to make guest announcements soon. So you will want to stay tuned to the BritCon Facebook page as well, or you can keep on the website as well. Just make sure you check back regularly. but yeah, that's August 7th. Really, really excited about it. And then next year, 2022, we're going to have our in-person convention. And I'm just, yay, really excited. Anyway, I don't want to babble too much. That's one of the good things that has been taking up a lot of my time. And just trying to work on getting everything ready. And we're in crunch time. We're almost there. It's almost con time. Sorry. Dancing to the music in my head. But I'm putting that up just because I'm really bad at promoting my Patreon. So you can ignore that if you want. But if you feel like supporting my cosplay at all, that's kind of the info on how to do it financially or not financially. I'm just going to kind of keep that running when I'm not talking about other people's stuff. Main thing I wanted to check in on is, I was doing my life with PTSD videos. Actually, I'm going to swap this over because, I don't have to swap it. I can just put that. Yay! Sorry, I'm using new software to try and do this. And so I'm getting to do cool things like this. So Doc of Doc Swans was doing my editing and is also giving me some sanity to working on the wand sheath. Finally back to working on these again for Doc for his Wands for Kids program. I know I wanted to make sure I mentioned him because he was helping me with the editing of my videos when I was recording. And honestly, it was just actually sitting down to record. I was finding I didn't have the time, or even when I had the time, I just didn't really have the energy. And, Doc has done his part to try to be like, hey, so you ready? You good? But not being like pressuring, understanding that, I needed some space and so he's amazing. I know, I wanted to talk about him because, I know with his Wands for Kids program, he makes his wands out of wood. I don't think he ever expected the wood to be more expensive than the magical, core components. You'd think that the things like unicorn hair and phoenix feathers would be more expensive than wood. But these days, wood has actually been a lot more expensive. I don't know, I know just in general, it's making the cost for him to make his wands go up. I don't know how much that has necessarily impacted him, but I know that it has to be a factor. So he has ways to donate to his Wands for Kids program. I would say if you guys are able to, that's a wonderful thing to be able to donate to. And if you go to his website, there, boop, right there, then that will, he's got updates on there, and he's got his wands, and it's all really cool. My daughter loves her wand. My son wants a wand, and I plan on getting him one, hopefully for his birthday. I don't know. It all depends on what we wind up choosing to go with, because it's going to be either a wand or one of the other things he wants. He wants a lot of things. And so it's like, which one are we going to settle on? So, Michael, if you're watching, you don't know what you're getting. You still might not get the wand. But he will eventually get the wand. And I have told him that, whether it's birthday, Christmas, or just an eventual here, have a wand. He will eventually get a wand. But so, wanted to give a shout out to Doc for everything that he's done for me. Obviously, he's not editing this. And if this works out, then he probably won't be doing the editing for me because it goes live. But if I can find, the right day and time that kind of works for people, I'd like to be able to start doing this, at least a couple times a month, and just sitting down and having a conversation with everybody about my PTSD and how I've been dealing with it. Going ahead and putting that down. So I've, more on the good. So, I don't remember how much, like when exactly was it, before or after NorwestCon that I talked to you guys, but I won the prop contest. Like, I gotta show this off. Whoop. Whoop. So I will be there in person hopefully next year, 2022. And it's usually, if I remember correctly, I don't want that to fall. I wanted it to be here for you guys to see. So it's usually Easter weekend. So I'll be at that. One other thing coming up, Cosplay Central is actually doing Cosplay Day, July 10th, 2021. It's a big deal because, again, this is one of the good things that has been the just overwhelmingness. So, Cosplay Central, Cosplay Day 2021, July 10th. Cheshire Alice's Tea Party is competing in their competition. So, I might do a stream. I don't know if I can get permission. I will stream me watching them, but I want to talk to them first before I do. Otherwise, I will record and let you guys see my reaction. I don't expect to win because I know the competition is going to be freaking crazy. I do not envy the judges. But just in case I do, it would be freaking awesome for you guys to get to watch that freak out, because I promise you, if I win, there will be freak out. Again, I don't expect to, but it's going to be crazy competition. And yeah, let me come over here real quick. Thank you, Brent on Facebook. For those not on Facebook, Brent was congratulating me on the award. So thank you. So yeah, July 10th, anyone who I don't know exactly what time the cosplay contest is streaming, but it is streaming July 10th. And I will be watching. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So now, I've gotten through all of the good things that have been overwhelming. On to some of well, I didn't really cover all of them. The other thing has been just being more physically active and getting out more and being more visible, which has been scary. And it's silly because it's like, even right now, I'm sitting here in my room. I'm safest space I could possibly be in. And right before coming on, I was just like, oh gosh. And I'm still like, I know I'm nervous. And I've got the butterflies going, and it's like, ooh. But, still, these are the things that help me with the more negative and bad sides. And there has been some of that these last few months. I had to deal with someone trying to claim in court that simply because I have PTSD, I am unstable. Of course, I'm in therapy, and my therapist wrote, a statement to the court, basically verifying that no, I'm doing my best and I am not unstable. But that's a stigma that is, I think that's the biggest stigma, is PTSD makes you unstable or unfit in some way. And, I have to fight that inner voice enough on my own. Hey, Super Walker. Having other people try to say it out loud, it really, it makes you question. And, you start to really wonder, is it me? Thankfully, that's a bonus to being in therapy and having a therapist. I can then talk to my therapist and be, hey, is it me? Thankfully, while I know I get emotional and that doesn't help the situation, I can be pretty sure that I'm not the instigator. And I am doing everything humanly possible to keep the peace without, and this is the hard part, without allowing myself to be walked on. Hi, Super Walker was asking how I am today and am I a doctor? Oh no, this was my contest from NorwestCon. Not a doctor, but I like to play one sometimes. Number 13 to be exact. I do have plenty of Sonics. And as for how I'm doing today, I'm actually doing pretty good. Just checking in and sharing what I've been dealing with the PTSD. Yeah, but really been hard to have to fight that in court too, and having to prove, because I know the bar for saying someone is crazy is pretty low, especially since I'm so open about my PTSD. It's like, Brent, for those not on Facebook, Brent was saying that it is a terrible stigma, and that people that believe in it give power to those who, all right, sorry, let me just read this. In regards to the PTSD making someone unfit or unstable, Brent is saying that it's a terrible stigma, and people believing it gives power to those who seek to use it against those they seek to harm. It can give abusers the advantage. Glad I had my therapist statement to back you up. Me too, I really am. And thank you, Super Walker, for the hair. I love that. This is one of my empowering, take me back for me styles. Just kind of been letting it grow. It kind of, I noticed I started to feel better about being seen after I got my haircut. It had been about a year. And so getting my haircut was like, yes. Oh. And it's kind of easy in the water too. But anyway, back onto the serious stuff. it's, I was really glad that BritCon, Super Walker, I am actually going live on Facebook, Twitter, or not Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube right now. And a program called StreamYard is actually allowing me to see everybody's chat all together. So I'm talking to everybody. It's actually cool because it's got a little icon next to everybody's name when they chat, so I can see which platform they're coming from, so I know how, you know. But and then so, but it's nice because I don't have to hunt through and see several different things, and it allows me to kind of stretch out, spread my wings and fly. But yeah, so it's nice that I've got the support. And I was really glad that BritCon was willing to get behind the PTSD Awareness Month video. Because mental health always gets lumped in with other stuff, other really important things. And so it's like, it kind of just winds up taking the back burner. Even though so many of us, especially after COVID, oh my God, so many of us need it. It's like, it's been crazy. But I mean, the fact that you acknowledge that you have something going on and you need help and you're getting the help, you would think that that would be a good thing across the board, you know, no matter what you're talking about, whether it's, PTSD, cancer, alcoholism, anything that, you have to kind of face and move forward from. First step is admitting that there is an issue, and that comes from anything, whether it's relationships or medicine, your body, whatever it is. If you want to improve whatever it is, you have to kind of break it down into, what can I improve? And so if you've taken that step of, I want to improve this, and are working with people to try to find out, how can I, then that should always be a good thing. And instead, there are those out there that like to try and be like, oh, you said you had an issue, so you're a problem. It's like, no, I admitted I have an issue. So that means I'm actually trying to fix it. So how am I a problem if I'm trying to fix what's broken or what's wrong, or what I see is wrong? If you're admitting that what I see is wrong, then how come me trying to fix it is wrong? But yeah, it really is just the stigma is really a power tool, and it's hard to fight because part of it's hard to fight because what's said is the things that your inner demons are telling you. And so it's I don't know how else to explain it. But that's part of why I try to talk about them, and why I want to do things like my life with PTSD videos, and stuff like this, just because I want, even if there's just one other person out there who sees this and is like, holy crap, I'm not alone. Because I know just how alone it can feel. Even when you're, it's funny because I think it was actually Cordelia Chase talking to Buffy on one of the old Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series episodes, talking about how you can be surrounded by people and yet you're so alone. And especially with PTSD, you really do feel that. Because you're constantly wondering, well, is this person going to understand? What if they start to trigger me? Are they going to pay attention when I tell them that what they're doing is triggering? Or are they going to call you a snowflake and keep doing it? You know, what? It's so hard to know who is okay and who isn't. And you eventually have to just accept that the jerks, the a-holes are out there, and we're gonna run into them. And it sucks. It sucks. The only thing we can do is be sure of ourselves. And that is so hard sometimes. But my trick, what I do for that is I turn to the professionals in my life, my therapist, my doctor. I turn to my family and my friends and those that I know that I can trust to, basically, those I know that if I'm being stupid, they'll tell me, hey, you're being stupid. Knock it off. I open up to them and kind of see if everyone is kind of in a consensus that what I believe is right or is in fact real, or what is really happening, then no matter what someone says, oh, she's just crazy. Who's the crazy one? You know, I'm not just saying this, I'm doing the scientific study in a way, and like talking to those, not just the friends and family that might be biased, but also the professionals that are supposed to not be, you know, those whose job it is to make sure that I'm not being stupid. If I'm paying them, it's to, or if they're being paid to treat me, it's to treat either, well, I guess my doctors aren't really there for, to stop me from doing something stupid. Doctors are more to help patch you up after you've done something stupid. Kind of like yesterday with the mermaiding. Oh, that was so painful. My legs are still mad at me from that. It felt so good. But anyway, getting sidetracked. It's really easy to do. But, you know, no one wants to talk about the hard stuff. The hard stuff sucks. But just anyone that's going through stuff like this, you know, don't be ashamed because you have PTSD. Having PTSD does not mean you're broken, doesn't mean that you are less than. Having PTSD, the only thing having PTSD means is that you've survived something more than others. You know, you've had to survive, and your body is trying to deal with it. It means you're a survivor. I mean, not all survivors get it, but you had to have survived something in order to have it. So we as a society tend to take mental health and make it negative. But it's especially when as an individual we're learning, and it's like there's this big catch-22 in society of, and it's really, really, really big in the army. It was actually kind of what wound up leading to the suicide attempt that ended my career. You know, you're supposed to be supposedly encouraged to seek mental health treatment. And so I was, and I wasn't ashamed. It's like, okay, I got diagnosed with PTSD. I fully understand why. This is just, got to cope with it. And then being in Korea, my therapist, PCS'd. She was transferred from Korea back stateside. And that left us with no female therapists. None. And I honestly don't know if or when they got another female therapist at Camp Humphreys, but I'm sure they finally did. I just have no idea when. It wasn't during my time there. But I started seeing my chaplain because I was like, okay, well, chaplain can help. They're a spiritual advisor instead of a medical one, but they kind of can cover the same basis, so why not? And my chaplain really, really was helping. I was seeing him weekly, and it was good therapy. He would have made a very good, I forget which one is the one that, psychiatrist or psychologist, the one that doesn't do meds. He would have been a good talk therapist. But my first sergeant found out that realized that I was going to the chaplain almost weekly and questioned me. And again, I wasn't ashamed. And so I was like, well, I'm just under a lot of stress and he's helping me deal with it. And, her remarks were, well, if you can't handle the stress of being a specialist, why should I promote you to being a sergeant? Completely out of line. I know all I had to do was walk straight out of her office, around the corner into the commander's office, and tell him what just fell out of her mouth, and crap would have hit the fan for her. But I wanted to avoid conflict, and so I didn't. I decided to suck it up, drink water, and drive on. The army way. But it was just, it was a wrong call. I should have kept going to therapy. I should have made sure that she was held accountable, and not let her intimidate me out of it. But I did, and then it was the stupidest thing. Like any normal day, what happened, what triggered my attempt would have done nothing more than piss me off. Like that would have been worst case scenario. I would have been pissed off. But because of the stress that had built up and the lack of any release or any kind of therapy to release it and relieve it or help, it blossomed into just can't take it, screw it. But Stigmas are why people don't want to reach out for help when they know they need it. They've finally accepted, okay, look, I got a problem. I realize I need some help. But if I do, ... And that's why it's so important that we try to fight the stigma every way we can, because we need to make it safe for people to reach out instead of just saying it. Yes, responsibility is on the individual to reach out for help, but responsibility is on society to make it safe for the individual to reach out. If it's not safe for the individual to reach out, the individual is not going to reach out. It's why there's so many, it's why I'm hoping that the bills get passed. I know they're getting closer. They've been talking about them on the news, the bills for to help fight sexual assault in the military that Congress is working on. They're needed because it's currently not safe to report. I hate that as a survivor, when it comes to military personnel, I'm not just immediately reporting. When it comes to civilians, I'm still like, no, you should report it. But when it comes to military, I hate that I feel this way. But I know the danger that, at least up until now, there was in reporting. And that danger in reporting makes it hard to, when there's a danger in speaking out and speaking up for yourself, it's hard to encourage people to speak up for themselves, because you have to then add in, speak up for yourself, but be warned, it might screw you over. And, speaking up for ourselves is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be instinct and just like, yeah, speak up for yourself. If you aren't looking out for yourself, no one else is going to. But, so many things and it's just, we have to make it safe to ask for help. Period. Across the board. It doesn't matter what help you're asking for, whether it's help for mental illness, whether it's help because you've been a victim of something, anything. Help because you just need it. What it's got to be safe. Help because you've realized you're on the wrong side of something. Help should be there, and help should be safe. Big thing is how? How do we make it? I try to speak out, use my, I don't have a big platform, but it's kind of why I want a platform. It's the purpose of the platform, is to be able to try to speak out, use my cosplay, my skills for cosplay, and help fight for what I believe is right. And so, yeah, it's I want to fight for what's right. I want to be there so that anyone else that's going through this knows they're not alone, and knows that there is help out there. It sucks and it's wrong that it's so hard to find and it takes so much fighting to get, but it is out there. It is there. You have to fight for it, and it's worth it. It's so worth the fight when you finally get it. The fight sucks. Don't give up. I'm going to have to cut it off here because I got to start getting ready for my kiddo to get home. And I know when he gets home, my puppy's going to be like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in forever. I missed you. So there's going to be a lot of noise. But hopefully we will do this again soon. Like I said at the beginning, I'm hoping to kind of do this, a couple times a month. Still trying to work out which days and times. This seems like it's like a decent time. We will try again, probably around the same time frame, and probably on a Sunday, because Sundays tend to be fairly easy for scheduling if I'm doing it this late. Worst case scenario, it might be after a BrickCon meeting, but hey, that's okay. It just means that I'll already be used to being on camera by that point. Thank you guys to Superwalker on Twitch and Brent on Facebook for joining me, and thank you to anyone watching this after the fact for putting up with it. We'll talk to you guys later.